Hi students, today we're going to be reading the book, How Do We Know It Is Spring? I chose this book because here in Peru we're starting spring. This is the table of contents. What is spring? Why do we have spring? When is spring? New life, spring weather, plants in spring, animals in spring, spring into action, planting in spring, spying on spring, and learning more. Then we have the glossary, words to know, and the index. What is spring? In most parts of the world, there are 4 seasons in the year. The seasons repeat each year in the same pattern. Spring comes before summer. Summer comes before fall. Fall changes to winter, and winter changes back to spring. Each season has certain types of weather. In spring, the weather is warm and rainy. Warmer weather. Spring is the season that comes after winter. Winter weather is cold. During winter, people usually spend a lot of time inside. When spring arrives, the weather has begun to warm up and people start spending more time outside to enjoy the warmer weather. Why do we have spring? Earth rotates around the sun once a year. As Earth travels around the sun, it spins on an imaginary tidal axis. At different times of the year, parts of Earth are tilted toward or away from the sun as Earth rotates. This is what causes our seasons: fall, winter, spring, and summer. In fall, North America begins to tilt away from the sun. In summer, North America is tilted towards the sun. In winter, North America is tilted away from the sun, and in spring, North America begins to tilt towards the sun. Tilting towards. During spring, in North America, the northern parts of Earth begin to tilt toward the sun. This means that North America starts to get more hours of sunlight and warmer days. Let's take a look at this text box. What do you think? During spring, the sun begins to rise earlier in the morning. The sun sets later in the evening. Can you think why? When is spring? In North America, the first day of spring is in March. Here in Peru, the first day of spring is September 21st. Like each season, spring lasts about 3 months. During this time, North America tilts closer to the sun and South America starts to tilt away. This means that seasons in the southern parts of Earth are opposite to the seasons in the northern parts. What do you think? When spring begins in North America, fall is starting in South America. What month do you think fall begins in South America? 2 instead of 4. Certain parts of the world do not have spring. For example, in Mexico, there are only 2 seasons: the rainy season and the dry season. During the rainy season, there is heavy rain, and during the dry season, there is very little rain. What do you think? These people in Indonesia are planting rice. Do you think they're planting the rice in the rainy season or in the dry season? New life. Winter is a very cold, dark season. During winter, plants die off and many animals hibernate or go into a deep sleep. Some animals migrate or move to warmer places for the winter months. Monarch butterflies migrate to warmer places in the winter, and they return again in spring. Birds, bees, butterflies, and babies. Spring is a warmer, brighter season. New green leaves begin to grow. Hibernating animals wake up. Migrating animals return. Insects such as bees and butterflies start flying near new plants. Spring is also a time when new baby animals are born. What do you think? Can you think of some baby animals that you have seen in spring? Baby birds such as these robins are a sign of spring. Spring weather. In spring, the weather is usually warm, but not hot. The sun feels warm, but the wind can be chilly. Strong winds blow rain and clouds across the sky. In some places, not here in Peru, there are tornadoes in spring. A tornado is a strong, spinning column of wind that causes a lot of damage along small pathway. It is best to stay in the basement of your house during a tornado. Rainbows in spring. Spring weather is warm. Therefore, instead of snow, spring brings rain and sometimes thunderstorms. If the weather is rainy and sunny at the same time, you may see colorful rainbows in the sky. Plants in spring. During winter, some plants become dormant or stop growing. These plants have stored food in their roots, stems, and leaves. When spring weather arrives, the plants can use the stored food to begin growing again. Other plants grow from seeds in spring. They use sunlight and rain to make their food as they grow. This plant has started to grow out of a seed. Growing green. When the weather is warm enough, green plants begin to poke up from the ground. Bright green leaves begin to grow on trees and bushes. Buds begin to grow on fruit trees. Soon the trees are covered in beautiful, colorful blossoms. Blossoms on fruit trees turn into fruit in the summer. Animals in spring. This mother swan is teaching her babies how to swim and find food. Birds build nests in spring. They lay eggs in the nests. Baby birds hatch from the eggs. Mother birds must teach their babies how to fly. Mother ducks teach their ducklings how to swim in ponds and creeks. Baby animals. Some baby animals do not hatch from eggs. They are born live in the spring. This is because the weather is warm and there are plenty of plants foods. Some animals give birth to only one baby a year. Other animals have many babies between spring and fall. In the woods, mother deer give birth to fawns. Springing to action. After the cold winter, it is fun to play outside on a sunny spring day. Many people go on hikes or nature walks. It is fun to look for plant buds and baby animals. Some people fly kites on windy spring days. Others jump rope or play hopscotch. Hopscotch is a fun game to play outside with your friends. What do you think? Think of your favorite spring activity. What kinds of clothes do you wear for the activity? I love to ride my bike. What about you? Spring suit. The weather can change quickly in spring. For example, it can be really sunny 1 hour, rainy the next, or cloudy too. When going outside, many people bring umbrellas in case of weather changes. Raincoats and boots are also important in spring clothes, not here in Peru, in other parts of the world. Planting in spring. In spring, many people like to plant gardens. They plant flower or vegetable gardens in their yards so they can watch the plants grow. Warm spring weather and rain make garden plants grow quickly. These plants will grow vegetables on them in the summer. Spring food. Spring is an important time for farmers. Many farmers plant food crops in spring. They plant fruits and vegetables such as corn. Crops that are planted in spring are usually harvested in the late summer or fall. This farmer is planting corn in the spring. What do you think? Many fruits grow on trees. Can you think of a fruit that grows on trees? I was thinking about oranges. What about you? Very good, guys. I hope you really like this. Bye bye.